What's going on, fellas? Flux here. Gonna be playing some Starcraft 2 beta today. Gonna be playing a ladder game on Scrap Station. I'm going to be spawning in the right-hand spawn as the blue Protoss. My opponent's gonna be spawning as the red Terran in the left-hand spawn. I will start off by saying I am not a very good player at this game just yet, but I am working on it. Working on all my hotkeys and whatnot and trying to get a little bit faster at reacting to stuff, and I don't know, it's fun to play. There's a lot of things to learn, and it's kind of a refreshing experience to just take on a new challenge like this. And it's definitely something new. It feels like whenever I was when I was playing World of Warcraft and I was going pretty hard at it, and I was trying to learn all the nuances and whatnot. But oh well. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Please don't take this game as LOL serious mode. Take it with a grain of salt. This is like Bronze League status, so definitely not that good. But who knows? Maybe you guys will enjoy it. And I do plan on playing a lot of this game, so this is kind of practice for me for casting and whatnot. So we'll see where this goes. But we're playing on Scrap Station today, and Scrap Station is a pretty fun map. It's kind of an annoying map to play as Protoss, just because it's a really long rush distance, but luckily for Protoss, Warp Gate and a good pylon placement can really take care of that very easily. But it's really annoying to play against Terran on for a couple of reasons. One, this island expansion over here is like free money for them unless you get some kind of air units, or, well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna need some kind of air unit to get your stalkers to blink from right here and get them to blink over here. But that's pretty much a free expo for them, and if he decided to fast expand, he probably could have taken it very easily and probably gotten a really big jump on the economic boost and probably sandbagged me the whole game. But luckily he didn't, and I kind of messed up my opening a little bit, so this all really worked out pretty well for me. I got a little bit lucky that I got a player who's a tad bit worse than me, probably not by much, and it's really not saying too much, but whatever. Got my pylon at 9, got my gateway at, I believe I got it at 13 this game, and I'm pumping out 2 zealots really quickly. And probably at 4 minutes into the game, I should probably already have this cybernetics core done, but getting used to microing and stuff and how units move and shift key options and stuff like that, I got a little distracted, I guess, and this should have been done way long ago, but it wasn't, so oh well. But my basic thinking going into this match is I'm playing against a Terran, and one thing Terran have a really big problem with is void rays, and I was planning on doing a lot of void rays and just coming up from behind and just sniping out some of the workers and whatnot, maybe taking out a refinery and really hurting him, but it didn't really turn out that way, but oh well. And I did a pretty poor job of scouting, so I kind of put myself in the dark the entire time. So anytime you're in the dark as Protoss, it's always safe to go with a pretty early 4-gate push. It's pretty universally, you know, accepted, and it'll work pretty well against pretty much anything. So I ended up switching up to a 4-gate, and I wasn't too excited about it, but oh well, not much I can do. Chrono boosting out Warp Gate here to try and get those going, and I honestly probably overproduced my probes just a tad bit for this stage of the game, and not much I can do about that. And as you can tell, it's kind of suffering over here because I only have 2 zealots at this point, and if he had pushed out, well, if he had done a little bit better on his macro in the early game, he probably could have pushed out in this really quickly, and I would have been SOL, but oh well. He has a ton of gas right now. He has double refineries going, so looking at this, I already know what he's going to do, but looking at this, it's pretty much a telltale sign he's going for some kind of air unit, and looks like he's going for a 1-1-1, and that's actually the case. He's got 1 barracks into 1 factory into 1 starport. So he's got that going, so you can pretty much expect Banshees or some Vikings later on in the game. And Warp Gate's almost done, and at this point I've already thrown down 2 more gateways. These are a little bit off, not by too much though, but still decent timing. But I'm sitting on about 600 unused minerals, and I probably should have expanded at this point since I was so far ahead, or probably produced a little bit, maybe a few extra zealots, or maybe a sentry or something to get his energy building up, but oh well. I kind of noticed I had a shitload extra, so I threw down a forge, and I don't really plan on teching up too early in this game, so it's kind of worthless. And you'll notice I have a Twilight Council in the back, and the point of getting a Twilight Council is anytime I go for a 4-gate, I typically go for Blink Stalkers, just because they're so effective. They can really maneuver around, especially in a base that's built really tight like this. I can really just blink. I can be over here attacking and just blink all the way over here, completely get his forces out of position, and maybe snipe out a few SCVs or something, or maybe take out his mule. But oh well. He's getting a command center here. It's probably about the right time, but he just has so much gas, and it really seems kind of worthless. But oh well. He's got his tech lab attached to his starport now. He did a good switch there, and really he just has too many Hellions sitting here in this base. They should really be moved out, and you'll notice I'm moving out with my little force here, and I'm catching the Zelnaga just to see if he was moving out. And you'll notice I have a probe in here, and you'll see what I do with the probe here in a second. But this is pretty good placement for any Protoss looking for maybe just something to take as a tip. You just put it right down here. It's pretty well hidden. There's really not too much he can do unless he gets sweeps all the way around, but I have a decent enough force to keep him contained, and that's partly because of his bad macro and really us just playing pretty poorly. I'm throwing down a pretty well timed expansion, I guess. It's about the right time, so I'm gonna move up here, and I'm gonna notice there's really not too many forces. I was really surprised, and my initial thinking was he's gonna have, it's gonna be walled off, and that's the correct thinking, really. And I probably could have continued to push here, but I noticed that it just didn't really seem like it was worth it. And I'd done the damage already. I'd taken out a lot of his Hellions, and I probably should have continued to take out this one and pretty much the rest of his forces, and I probably could have done some SCV damage, but oh well. Kind of poor on my part, and I allowed him to get a Banshee and get a Raven going, but not much I can do. He's scanning my base, but he scanned in the same spot every time, so he missed a lot of this tech back here. And I'm throwing down a robo facility, and the idea behind the robo facility is either A, get a warp gate, set it up right here, and just port units in, and just take him out from behind, or get an observer and put the observer, I don't know, maybe like right here, and try and blink up here and take out his probes and whatnot, and take him out from behind once again. But he's throwing down a ton of buildings right now, but has really no forces. He has a decent deal of Marines, but nothing else really. I mean, this Ravens in the early game can be very lethal, but he didn't use it very well. But oh well, not much I can do there. It's not really my fault. He's got a Banshee coming through the back, and it's going to snipe out this pylon, but that's not really a big deal. I have a backup pylon already set in, and I warped in some Stalkers to take care of it. I probably only needed 2, but I warped in 4, which is kind of a mistake, but oh well. And we got our second expo going, and it's getting decently saturated right now. Got both my simulators up, and we're in a really good position to really take advantage of this game. If I was looking back, I probably could have came down here, taken this gold expo. Oops, I'm a little flying off the map there, but oh well. I probably could have came down here, taken this gold expo, and been super far ahead. But he's gonna push out here, and I have honestly just way too many Stalkers for him to deal with. If this siege tank had siege mode, probably could have sieged up and done a little bit more damage, but there's just way too many forces for him to deal with, and I really don't know what he can do at this point. Maybe if this Raven was doing a little more harass in my base, he probably could have done something. But he made a pretty good move there. He put down a point defense drone, and that will pretty much completely block all Stalker attacks no matter what until it runs out of energy. And so you'll see me try and micro over here a little bit and try and move away from that, but honestly I ran out of energy so quickly I probably could have just kept it. And he's got to pull all of his probes off, so he's doing absolutely no mining right now and calls GG. So that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's, there's really not too much to pick up from this, and it's really just me practicing, but, you know, I figured it'd be fun. It was a decent game for me, and pylons for the win. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My name's What the Flux. Peace.